Coronavirus up, the stock market down. Coronavirus bad. Stock market going down. Is that good or bad? Let's talk about it. So unless you live under a rock and you've never been on social media, you never watch the news, you never do anything related to technology, you've heard of the coronavirus. Now, the coronavirus is something that showed up pretty recently, a couple months ago, and is getting increasingly worse. As much as everybody's trying to contain it in all the various countries that it's starting to affect, it's still unfortunately getting worse. And with the fear of it kind of boiling around and kind of bubbling within all of our culture, especially in the US, it's unfortunately also led to the stock market starting to go down a little bit. So if we take a look at Dow Jones over the past 5 days, it's gone down about 2,300 points. So according to Google, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, or simply the Dow, is a stock market index that measures the stock performance of 30 large companies listed on stock exchanges in the United States. So if the Dow Jones is dropping this much in just a few days, which is about 10% total, stuff's kind of starting to go bad. And if you go on places like Robinhood and look at a bunch of the stocks that have been trading recently, there have been a lot of companies that have been in the negative consistently for the past few days because of all the fear looming around coronavirus. Basically what's happening is this fear has caused people to take their money out of a bunch of companies because of companies in China that have had to close down their stores temporarily to kind of hold everybody, make sure everybody's quarantined, make sure that it doesn't spread insanely fast. So when China started quarantining people and making sure that nobody was leaving their houses, it caused people not to be able to go to work. And with that causes the profitability of the businesses in China dropping down significantly. And with how many products are made and produced in China, that's starting to lead to the American market, American companies being affected as well. Now, the coronavirus itself is obviously a very terrible thing. It's a really bad thing, but that's not what this video is about because we all know about that. This video specifically is about how it's affecting the stock market and how we can kind of play around with that a little bit. Now, before I get further into this video, I want you to know that I'm not a financial advisor, so anything that I say in this video should be taken for entertainment purposes only. But with that said, let's continue with this video. So generally speaking, the majority of people want stocks to go up so they can begin to make money and grow their wealth. So if the majority of your money or all of your money is already in the stock market, you've noticed that it's been taking a loss. So what are you going to do at this point? Are you going to sell all of your stocks, accept the loss, and move on with your life? Or are you going to hold all of your stocks in hopes that everything comes back up in a month, 2 months, in 3 years? What I'm doing personally is actually just holding on to all the stocks that I have, because things like this, as it goes down and everything's going down, after the coronavirus eventually gets taken control of, and once we finally have dealt with it, stuff's going to start to go back up again, and I'm willing to wait a few months for when it starts to go back up so I don't have to accept the loss. But what good can come out of the stock market going down? Now, before I dive too deep into this, anybody who's affected by the coronavirus or has family who is, or it's affecting you in some sort of way, whether you're being quarantined or you just have to not go outside for a little bit, my solid condolences to you. That really sucks, and I hope the best for you, your families, and everybody around you. But with that said, let's get into the financial side of this and see how you could potentially make money off of this horrible disaster. But if you have money sitting aside, is it time for you to buy? Honestly, I don't know. Personally, I'm not going to start buying anything yet because I have a pretty decent feeling that the stock market is going to continue to go down simply because the coronavirus has not been fully taken care of and it's not fully under control yet. But once it starts to get fully under control and vaccines started getting shipped out, all the good stuff that counteracts the coronavirus starts happening, that's when you might be like, hey, it's at a low right now. Let's put some more money in now when it's at its potential lowest and make some money off of that. Now, they say that you can't time the market, and it's not always the best way to play the market and the best way to invest and trade your stocks. However, I do. They say not to, but I'm doing it anyway. However, there is one other sort of way that you can make money off of this going down, and that is actually trading options. I'm not going to go too deep into how options trading works. Effectively what it is that you put in money, you're guessing which way a specific stock will go, whether that be up or down, how much it will go up or down by, and if you're accurate with your estimations, you can make some pretty decent money doing that. And if you're wrong, then you just lose everything. Whereas trading a stock normally, if it drops, you can at least get something back. But with options, it's either you make a ton or you lose everything. There really isn't an in between. But if you want to learn more on options trading, I'm honestly not the best person to that because I haven't ever dealt with it myself. However, there are tons of videos on YouTube that can teach you more about that. Now, despite the majority of my stocks going down specifically, I have had one stock and only one stock that has been actually doing well. So as you can see, in the past month when I first started kind of investing a little bit, I started getting kind of profitable, making a little bit of money, and then suddenly everything dropped. And here's a look of all the stocks I have currently, and I have it set to show my total return, and almost everything is in the negative right now. Once again, I'm holding on to it, waiting for it to eventually go back up. But the one thing that was profitable was actually the China Online Education Group. And here's why. So in China specifically, what they've had to start doing is quarantining people and pretty much not letting anybody exit their houses, especially in major cities. And what that's led to is an insane increase of online education for all the children that are in China. And because of that, that stock has been going up. I bought that stock a day ago and it's already up $6. How much higher that's gonna go, I have no idea, but I'm holding on to it at least for the next few days, as I have a feeling it's going to continue to rise because these children have no access to outside education, and this is all they have at the present moment. But I have a decent feeling that the stock will continue to grow as long as the coronavirus remains an issue in China, and then once it starts to become less of an issue, the stock will go down once children are able to start returning to normal public and private schools instead of needing to just do school online. So I know that there really wasn't any structure to this video and that everything I said was kind of all over the place, but with all that said, I just wanted to kind of go over in this video how the coronavirus is affecting the stock market and how you could potentially make money off of that in some sort of way. Now, before I end the video, I really want to make a clear point that I think the coronavirus is a terrible thing, and I'm not seeing this as like let's make some money off of this situation. My goal with this is just kind of educate you on what's going on with the coronavirus and how it's affecting the stock market and how you can basically make the best out of the worst situation possible. But with all that said, have a great day, guys. Peace.